put on your camera if you wish. So it seems like we have one question in the chat. The question is, do observers participate in INSO Malaysia through webinars or online platforms? And are they subject to the same eligibility criteria regarding age and university enrollment?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think I can answer that. So for the observer, there are no specific eligibility criteria like participants. So normally anyone can be the observers, right? And since the event is um, totally in person, it is a physical event, so there will be no online platforms for the whole event. So by participating the event, it will be coming to Malaysia and yeah, going through the whole event from 30th July until 6th August.
All right, thank you. And then another question is if it would be possible to change the date for final registration from the 30th of April to perhaps a later date because the participant believes it's a bit early.
Okay, we will see how if there is any request on that time. But for now, we will stick to the original schedule from the 1st April to 30th April, and we will see how will be the progress of complete registrations. And if it is required, we will extend some deadline.
All right, thank you. And the participant Sajad also highlighted in regards to that question that last year the registration was the end of May, and then it was changed to the end of June. And our next question is, who would pay the subscription fee? So I believe they're referring to perhaps the registration fee. They mentioned it as subscription
Okay,
fee.
it depends.
Yes.
If the country is because we do have one representative per country, so it depends on the country to decide whether the country is supported by the Ministry of Education or they have other sources of funding as well. So it is up to the country of the participants to pay, and it
Yes.
is the same for the observer.
Yes, it depends on the country. Yeah. Normally, the team leader will do the arrangement, and they have to get the consensus on who is going to support the fee for the participants. Thank you.
Arialis, may I have the floor?
Yes, the floor is all yours, Marina.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Marina Mishar. I'm from the Technical Cooperation Division for Asia and the Pacific region and also managing the TC project, the Technical Cooperation Project, RAS 0091, which is supporting this initiative. In the first INSO, we provide some, what you call that, funding support to participating member states to compete in the first INSO, which we pay for the registration fee. For 2025, we are exploring the possibility of providing similar support, and this will depend on the available funding. And what we require is once your participation is confirmed by the host, you can reach out to me for funding support. And if there is a funding opportunity, we will try to our best to provide to pay for the registration fee. However, just to confirm that our priority would be for the least developed countries or lower middle income countries. So I hope this is clear. And I know there is a request to extend the deadline for the final registration. From the IEA side, for us to provide the funding support, we need adequate time, at least 2 months before the date of the event. So kindly, understand the situation from our side for us to ensure that the things will go smoothly. And then if your country are selected for IEA funding support, this is the minimum timing we require for us to provide the funding support. 2 months before the event. So now is end of July, right? End of July, early August. So the latest would be I think end of April, June, end of May, June, July. I think third week of May. Once we have the final pre-registration countries, we will provide further details about the funding support. Thank you. Back to you, Arialis.
Thank you, and I think that really clears up a bit of those questions, especially because I know it is an expense and people definitely want to understand the finances. And Dr. Rolinda, I believe you have something to
Yeah, I
add.
just want to add some from Madam Marina regarding the financial support. Uh, do we have to mention about the age limit, Marina? Because as far as I'm concerned, the financial support from IEA have a age limit before 18, if I'm mistaken. Maybe you can add on that.
The age limit of funding support. So right now, the IEA funding support is concerned about the registration fee. So registration fee per team, right? So there is no age limit for the funding of the registration fee. If we have additional funding, this is where we may support the transportation, the flight transportation from the country to Malaysia. And for the funding support for the flight, or the prepaid ticket, we can only support students age minimum 18 and above. And we understand the criteria for participating for the students to compete in the International Nuclear Science Olympiad. The age is from 15 to not more than 20. Is it clear, Dr. Rorinda?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And it seems like we have someone who raised their hand. I believe Usha Bayar. If you will unmute you and you can have the floor. Let's see. So you should be able to unmute and if you wish, utilize the camera.
I think while we are waiting for Usukbaya, I just move him to presenter. Usukbaya, you can unmute yourself and take the floor. By the way, so there is a question about topics of I think the first Olympiad topics of experimental or the theoretical. This will be updated in the INSO website. I think the earliest by early next year. We are updating the INSO website and all the previous question and of the first INSO will be uploaded there. What topics and when they will be shared. If you are asking about what kind of topics that will be raised in the second INSO, it will be the same. The syllabus of INSO is available on inso.science on INSO website.
All right.
Marina, there is also another question about does the participant limit it just to one group, each country? Yes. Each country is represented by one team, consists of maximum 4 students and minimum 2 students.
So, Juliana, I hope that is clear for you. And there is another question from Sajad. Do you will be sharing another set of preparatory questions? Maybe Nur Ain, if you can share.
Yeah.
If you are planning, if the host is planning to share another set of preparatory questions. By the way, we
So
already
far,
have. we already have one set of preparatory question, and then we have the question for the first INSO. So basically, you will have two sets of questions. Sorry, Nur-An, kindly.
Yeah, thank you, Marina. So far, we are not planning to have our another set of preparatory questions because the first set of preparatory questions is done by the international jury of INSO, and it takes one whole year long to prepare for the first one. And we agree that we are having the first set of preparatory to help everyone for the first INSO to have some kind of expectations, what kind of questions will be going out during the exam. But now we have the first preparatory questions, and we have the questions, the real questions from the first INSO. So for now on, I will say that we can rely on those two first.
May I call on Miss or Mr. Usuk Bayar? Kindly unmute yourself and you can take the floor, please. Okay. There is another question from Krypton. Who do I approach so I can know which secondary schools in my country, the Philippines, can join the national round of the competition? Elena, would you like to take on this question?
Okay, thank you, Marina. So for the Philippines, the Philippine Nuclear Science Olympiad team will be conducting during the first quarter a set of examinations all over the country. So we just have to wait for announcement to the Department of Education. So we will be announcing, and they will be conducting 3 sets of parallel exams for each of the islands for Visayas, Mindanao, and Luzon. So just watch out for the announcement from the Department of Education. Thank you. And by the way, Arya, I am not able to use the chat. May I know why? Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. And also, this is the same answer to Miss Juliana. Your question is if the country can send a lot of participants, I think it will be better, causing more excitement. So I think this question is answered by Dr. Maya because the representing team for the country would need to go through a national selection. So Maya, can you share I think it will be a bit complex. There is a presentation shared by Dr. Maya earlier, sharing that the country will be doing a screening test, a national screening test, and it will be open to all the students in the country for them to select which 4 students will be competing representing the country. So imagine that this is the Sports Olympic. A similar process of selecting the representative of the country will be done. And indeed, it will cause a lot of excitement because, for example, Miss Elena Conharas had mentioned either the Department of Education or PNRI, or some institution in the Philippines will be announcing the pre-screening test for the students who will be representing the country. So it will be the same for Malaysia, for all participating countries, and including for Indonesia, who should also do the pre-screening test and finally bring down to 4 students who will be representing Indonesia to the second International Nuclear Science Olympiad. I hope this is clear, Juliana, and we hope we can see a group of students from Indonesia who will be representing Indonesia in the second International Nuclear Science Olympiad. We have another question from Mr. Syed Muhammad. the QR code which Miss Elena showed us does not work and we do not have access to the real question, please review it. Yes, we will review it and it will be uploaded in the INSO main website so that everybody will have access and we will try to do it as soon as possible.
Marina,
Yes.
so, I would like, I'm trying to put the link here in the chat, but I don't know why I'm not able to use the chat. Is it restricted? It
Can you
says here
please?
that chat is only available during the meeting. That is the message that I have here. So anyway, we can just put it in the website, okay? But if I can use the chat, I can put it in the chat, the link.
Can you check, Arelis, how
Yes,
Elena can have access to the chat? This is some
She should.
technical issue, so we
Yes,
will.
she should have. I'll work with Marusan. Otherwise, if she sends it to you or myself, I can share it. But she should have the chat. But we'll look into it.
Okay, I'll send the link to you. Then you can just please share it. Thank you.
For those who cannot use the chat box, please raise your hand and we will give you the floor so that you can unmute yourself. I see another question. Will there be specific topics or will there be general? If the question is about what other question will be raised in the International Nuclear Science Olympiad, we provide the general syllabus and the specific question will be I will put it in the syllabus. I will put in the chat box and you can see it in a while. Yeah. I see. Is there a hand or no hand? Maya, would you like to take the floor?
Marina, can I share the INSO website so they can see where they can find the syllabus and...
Yes, please.
Yeah, just quickly. Is it clear? Can you see?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Yeah, so here in the website, INSO website, you can see the here in this window, the Olympiad, the participation, the general syllabus, for example. It is here. You can open it and see what are the topics included. It will be a structure of an atom nucleus, radiation, fission and fusion, radioactivity, and so on. So everything here is clear. And then if you need to know about, here is the probability problems also, the theoretical and the experimental. Here is the link to the first INSO. Also, you can have information or you can go directly to first INSO website to have more information. That's it. Thank you.
Any other question? Aralis?
Yes. So let's see. I believe those are all the questions we have. Let me check if anyone is raising their hand. Oh, we do have someone raising their hand. Safi Udin Ahmad. Let me just unmute you. And if you wish, you can also utilize your camera. So you should be able to unmute yourself, Safi.
Hello, so my question is, to get funded by the IAEA, where do we have to email?
Okay. Aralis, I will respond to this question. I just put the answer in the chat box. So before reaching out for funding support, the country would need to confirm that they will be participating in the 2025 INSO, right? So Ms. Siti Nur Ain had provided the milestones of they will send the invitation and then the country need to do pre-registration and final registration. So once the country participation is confirmed by the host, then IAEA will reach out to the country for the potential support available and if it's available. So we are trying our best from the IA side to gather funding to provide support to all the participating member states. Priority will be given, as I mentioned, to the least developed countries and lower and middle income countries. I hope this is clear. Thank you.
All right. And then hopefully that is clear. And we do have another question in the box from Mr. Yasir. Is it possible to give more time for submission? The 20th April deadline is soon for the national processes.
Maybe Dr. Rorinda or Dr. Siti Nur Ain can answer that. What is the
Yes.
latest? Yeah, please.
All right. So just as I presented earlier, the original date we will set at it will open for final registration from 1st April until the 30th April. But if there is a need for extension, for a date extension, we will update from time to time. So from now on, I think we will stay with the original timeline first.
All right. And then it seems like we have one more question. Let me just unmute Joseph Ortesula, and then you will be able to ask your question. So you should have the camera and mic option, Joseph. You can
Okay,
unmute
thank you.
yourself.
Just a question about a participation of one country who has not participated in the first INSO. So, like, should we request the participation through the host country, Malaysia, or through IAEA?
I can answer this question. Joseph, may I know which country are you from?
South Korea.
South Korea. Yeah, participation in the INSO should go straight to the host.
Okay. So I'm a teacher here in South Korea, so I need to like ask the Ministry of Education here in South Korea if they are hosting it.
Mhm.
Yeah. If they are
Yeah.
not hosting the national elimination, then we cannot participate, right?
Yes, that's correct. I think
Okay.
for South Korea, because you already there is representative actually from Korea, from Kairi, had
Okay.
observed in the first INSO. So you would be eligible to compete with students in the second INSO, but you're right, you need to do the uh, national
Yes.
nuclear science Olympiad selection and training before you can participate in the INSO.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you for your
Marina,
question. Oh,
Mar-
Miss.
Marina or Ariel, can I also make a comment on, I respond to the question from South Korea?
Yes, please,
Can I
Elena.
add? Yeah, sure, because for Korea, actually, they are looking into participating next year's Olympiad. So, but our contacts, of course, is not with the Ministry of Education, but with the Korean Atomic Energy Research Institute, KAIRI, and also the RCA Regional Office. So I think they're also trying to coordinate or to engage the Ministry of Education. So if you are interested, you might want to connect with them because they're also trying to connect to the Ministry of Education. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that information, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So
I
thank you.
see.
Another question in the chat from Rama. If we pass all the exams, what are the next steps? Essentially.
Rama, I assume you are a student. So if the student need to participate in the National Nuclear Science Olympiad organized by the country. So if you pass all the exams, I will assume you will be one of the students who will be selected to compete representing your country. So if the question is, if you pass all the exams in the International Nuclear Science Olympiad in Malaysia, so based on your marks, you will be given either the gold medals, the silver medals, or the bronze medals.
Thank you, Marina. I hope that clarifies your question, Hama. If not, please feel free to clarify in the chat. And it seems like yes, it does. And are there any more questions? Please feel free to continue utilizing the chat function or raise your hand.
Maybe we exhaust the question, Arialis.
Perhaps, but thank you everyone again for attending. Hopefully that answered all your questions. If not, feel free to contact us. I know there were some questions about funding and just general logistics, but hopefully this webinar really cleared up some of your questions. But since we seem to not have any more questions, we can move on to the conclusion and closing. So as we wrap up, I would like to thank all of our speakers and presenters for their informative presentations and inspiring remarks. I'd like also to express my gratitude to you, the participants, for your engagement and thoughtful questions. And the 2025 International Nuclear Science Olympiad promises to be an exciting opportunity to foster innovation and collaboration in the field of nuclear science. And we look forward to your involvement and hopefully your countries to participate and you to be a participant in next year's INSO. And before we go, I would like to encourage you all to stay tuned for the upcoming webinars from ANENT, and they are events that promise to continue fostering knowledge sharing and collaboration in the field of nuclear science and technology. And before we leave, I would like to quickly give the floor to Professor Shou Jing, who is the focal point for the ANENT webinar series. So over to you, Professor Shou Jing. And if she's not able to unmute, if Madhu-san, if you can assist with that.
I'm not sure if Professor Xiao Jing is with us. So let me check. Okay. So Arialis, let me take the floor and to thank everyone, the participants and also distinguished colleagues from INSO and the presenters. My heartfelt gratitude who had contributed to the successful completion of this webinar. So the discussion today really had highlighted the transformative potential of the International Nuclear Science Olympiad. So this, Xiao Jing is here. Kindly move her to presenter, Arialis.
Yes, one moment.
So from the IAA side, our vision for the International Nuclear Science Olympiad is to cultivate a global community of young leaders and innovators who will drive forward the peaceful applications of nuclear technology for sustainable development. We see the Olympiad as a catalyst for nurturing talent, promoting cross-border collaboration, many countries within the region, and we hope for the second Olympiad, other countries outside of the Asian Pacific will also be competing, and inspiring the next generation to tackle the world's pressing challenges using nuclear science and technology responsibly and effectively. So today's webinar had provided a clear roadmap for the 2025 Olympiad, and it is evident that the dedication of all stakeholders, the organizers, the educators, the participants, is paving the way for another successful chapter in this initiative. I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to INSO, International Nuclear Science Olympiad, and in particular its chair, Ms. Maya Al-Azri, for her outstanding leadership in driving this initiative forward. Her vision and dedication has been instrumental in the growth and success of the Olympiad, setting a clear direction for its future. Our thanks also go to the Philippines for hosting the first International Nuclear Science Olympiad this year. Your efforts has set a high standard and demonstrated the immense potential of this initiative to inspire and unite the nuclear science community. Congratulations as well to Mr. Muhammad Nur Kasib, the first INSO ambassador for representing this initiative with such passion and commitment. Your journey will be an inspiration to young nuclear scientists worldwide. Looking ahead, the IEA would like to send our best wishes to Malaysia as the host of the 2025 Olympiad. The plans shared today are truly inspiring, and we are confident that Malaysia will build on the strong foundation established by the Philippines to deliver another remarkable event of the International Nuclear Science Olympiad. From the IEA side, we remain steadfast in its commitment to support this initiative and fostering collaboration through all the IEA-fostered education networks in the region, namely the Asian Network for Education and Training in Nuclear Technology, ANENT, and also the International Nuclear Science and Technology Academy, INSTA. Together, we can inspire and empower young minds, ensuring nuclear science continues to be a force for progress and global well-being. So from our side, we thank you again for your active participation, and we look forward to seeing many of you at the 2025 Nuclear Science Olympiad and also in future ANENT webinars and other ANENT events. So let us all stay inspired, stay connected, and keep striving for excellence, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Marina. And it seems like Professor Shaudin is able to unmute herself. So you have the floor, Professor.
Nice to see you, Marina and Elena. I have been listening to the presentations, and they are very great presentations too. Uh, since our chairperson of ANENT is not here, on behalf of him, I would like to invite all of you to pay attention to ANENT's website and the telegrams and the Insta, and join our other webinars, coming webinars. So almost one every month we will hold such free webinars in nuclear technology and science area, and welcome to invite your friends and colleagues to join us too. See you next time.
Thank you, everyone, again for coming. We're so glad to have had you here, and have a good rest of your day, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. And we hope to see you at the next INSO and at future webinars. Bye bye.